Hello, I am Xarkun and this is World of Warships Legends. Today we find ourselves in a legendary division with Kranky and Bravo. I am playing the legendary tier British Battleship Conqueror. Kranky is in the legendary tier American Light Cruiser Worcester, and Bravo rounds out the division at the helm of the tier 7 German aircraft carrier August von Parzival. Now, the reason I'm in this division is simply because Kranky invited me to join this division. I think it is one of his missions to get me to see the value of divisioning for whatever reason. And I do see the value of divisioning. I just don't do it all that often. But since I got such a good game out of this session with them, and there's a moment in this battle that I think is well worth highlighting because of the teamwork, something that is certainly pretty absent from this game unless you're playing in a division. Well, I just wanted to put it up on YouTube and show it to you. But for now, a little bit about what I'm doing. Seems Bravo is sending his planes out to conduct operations all around the map. Kranky there is in the center, posted up behind an island near the Bravo cap, and I'm moving in toward Charlie. Kranky is of course not going to move into Bravo himself. He's just trying to find a place where he can rain down HE on the ships pushing in, like that Bismarck out there, who we just lit a fire on, and the Bismarck promptly damage-conned that fire, which means Kranky is liable to light a permanent one soon. But the reason we're moving in here is because we've got a friendly destroyer trying to take Charlie, and he's pushing straight into an enemy Wichita. Obviously, he's spotted because he's being shot at, so we want to support him. We don't want this guy to go down. We want him to take the cap. We've got the HE chambered, and the shot is out at the Wichita. The HE absolutely rips through things, so we do hit him quite hard. Nevertheless, we're going to switch to the armor piercing so that we can hopefully get a citadel on him. The friendly destroyer has retreated just a little bit. It looks like he's unspotted now, and we have captured the attention of the Wichita and whatever destroyer is in the smoke screen behind him. Wichita is slowing down, still spotted. I think he is just in the smoke screen, but his smoke firing penalty must be too much, and the friendly destroyer must be keeping him spotted. So we hit him there as Kranky lets us know that the Bismarck is pushing in toward his position. Keeping that in the back of our mind, we still want to see if we can take out this Wichita, and we should have enough time to do that before turning around to help Kranky out with the Bismarck. So there's one more AP salvo at the Wichita, and yes, that is enough to take him out. Now the Bismarck is pushing in. He is headed right for Kranky's position behind that island. Maybe he knows him and he just wants to take him out. In either case, he is tunnel visioned, and he does not appear to be aware that he's got a Conqueror on his broadside. And while the Conqueror's HE is excellent, so is the armor piercing, especially against battleships at this kind of range. Yeah, that was like a 30k salvo there, I think, on that Bismarck. We've reduced him to only 2 bars of health, about 10k hit points, so shouldn't have a lot of health left, and Bravo is vectoring in some armor-piercing dive bombers to help finish the job. We've got an angry-looking smoke screen in front of us, and we know that a destroyer was in the area, so we suspect he must be there. Kind of turning our guns to see if we have to further assist Kranky, but we don't. Bravo comes in for the drop on the Bismarck and sinks it. But we do want to sort of keep creeping this way, just in case any torpedoes come out of that smoke screen. We've got a friendly Albemarle pushing right into the smoke screen, trying to reveal what lays inside, and we suspect there's a destroyer in there, but what we didn't expect was a broadside Suzuya at 5 kilometers, who, well, he's not at 5 kilometers anymore. He's about to be 5 kilometers under the sea. The Fletcher is there, though, and it looks like the Albemarle manages to avoid most of his torpedoes, or at least he doesn't take enough to be sunk, but the Fletcher is out of our reach right now. So we're going to continue this way toward the center of the map as Kranky moves into Bravo to take it. We want to push up closer to him and help support him, get further away from this Fletcher in case the Albemarle goes down. I think he did take 2 Fletcher torpedoes after all, so he may be on fairly low health, but it looks like he is having an okay time finishing off the Fletcher, and if that Fletcher wants to move into the channel between the 2 islands, it's entirely possible that Kranky's going to have shots at him and be able to take him out. In any case, the game is going quite well. I think thanks in large part due to our positioning, my taking this flank on the Charlie Cap, helping out with the friendly destroyer and taking out the Wichita, and then helping save Kranky from the Bismarck pushing in a rather inadvisable move. And I did say, teamwork is a rare enough thing to find just with random players on your own team in World of Warships Legends, but I guess I should amend that statement because as long as you are in a position to support your teammates, well, you are in fact engaging in the act of teamwork, even if your teammates are not doing things that you might otherwise advise them not to do, like pushing a legendary tier destroyer straight into a cap within radar range of a Wichita and then getting shot at. I certainly wouldn't have advised the destroyer to do that until after I had taken out the Wichita, but since he was there, I got into a position to support him, and it worked out well. Although he might have sunk by this point, we do eventually end up getting the Charlie Cap. In fact, we have all 3 capture circles, and really it's just the enemy aircraft carrier, this Minotaur, and 1 other enemy battleship left to go. So at this point, we're mostly here to farm damage and help destroy the rest of these ships, which shouldn't be too hard. Minotaur goes dark there, and just as he goes dark, we get the rear turrets involved and swing around for a mostly blind shot, which hits the Minotaur for a Citadel and nets us the high caliber medal. The Conqueror, I don't know if I think it is the strongest battleship at the legendary tier, but it's certainly the most versatile in terms of its ability to pump out damage. The AP, as you've seen, is fantastic, or it can be. We only get 3 over-penetrations there for whatever reason, but it's fantastic against broadside ships. It can wreck cruisers, it can wreck battleships, and if there's situations where the AP is not going to wreck any of those ships because they're angled or whatever the reason is, well, then you've got the absolutely ridiculous HE with, I believe, the highest high explosive alpha strike in the game and an outrageous fire chance. There's not a lot that can deal with a well-played Conqueror, and this ship really isn't too difficult to play. Anything that pushes into it is going to die. All you have to do is assume a kiting position, or at least a defensive position of some kind. Protect your Citadel. You can rely on the super heal to replenish any hit points that you lose to fire damage or HE penetration, or even standard armor piercing penetration and Citadel penetration. I believe this heal is able to replenish more hit points lost to Citadel damage than the standard battleship heals. So this is a very strong battleship. Frankly, a well-played Conqueror can be almost impossible to take down. If you want to push into it and it shoots the high explosive at you, there's almost nothing you can do. And if you give it broadside in a battleship or a cruiser, look out. That's to say nothing of destroyers, who are perfectly capable of being dev-struck by the Conqueror's high explosive. Frankly, I still think it's a little bit too potent. The HE is just a little bit too much, and yet I don't see people complaining about the Conqueror as much as they do the Yamato with its 18-inch guns. I do have a small theory on that, and that is that for whatever reason, people don't respect battleships when they shoot high explosive, which is honestly sort of nonsense in my view. There are times in any battleship where it would be appropriate to shoot high explosive, such as in a situation where you have a protracted engagement with a bow-tanking battleship and your AP can't seem to do too much more than ship damage. At that point, good idea to switch to high explosive. Or if you're going to shoot at a destroyer, for example, another good time to switch to high explosive. So there's one part of the theory. The other part of the theory is that the Yamato has 18-inch guns, which go right through the bow armor of most battleships, and it seems to me that most battleships only know how to push in, bow tank, and reverse. That seems to be the battleship meta of this game, and it has been for a long time. The Yamato is very good at punishing that kind of thing, since it can go straight through the bow armor of pretty much every battleship it encounters, with the exception of the Grosse Kurfürst. But the Conqueror can do the same exact thing with his HE, and it can light fires at the same time. And there's honestly even less you can do about that than the Yamato overmatching the bow armor, because bow tanking is not angling. You can angle the side armor against the Yamato. You can angle against the Conqueror's HE. Just wanted to throw that out there because I really don't think people are as terrified of this ship as they honestly should be. In any case, I think a pretty good game between myself, Kranky, and Bravo. We all topped the leaderboard with over 2,000 XP. And I think we totally carried that for our team. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If so, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.